welcome to our March team training call. Hello, Global Accents. I am super honored that you're with us tonight. And even though we've had the stomach virus the last 24 hours, I could not put this off because I want to tell you all the things, and I wanted us to have this time together. So I may not be as energetic and as my normal self, but we're going to learn a lot today or tonight. And I want to get some feedback from you guys. I want you to put in the chat right now what you're aiming for PRV wise this month. Aiming for. Do you shoot for 2000 PRV? Do you shoot for 500 PRV? Do you shoot for something in between? Be honest. And I want you to put it in there. And I always say, what's the saying? Shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. Is that a saying that I don't even know who to quote? But honestly, don't shoot too low. Don't cut yourself short. If you put a number down and you played safe because you knew that other people were going to see your number, I want you to write that number that you're really aiming for on the inside, the one that is so magical. I know Lauren shared her story with me last month. For almost a year, she's heard people talk about getting to $2,000 PRV and getting that extra bonus. She's heard about that for a year. And it wasn't until February this year, she's been a consultant for almost a year, you guys, she hit 2,000. That's a magical number, not just because you get the bonus, but also because it's a big deal. So if 2,000 is your aim, then I want you to put it in the chat. Okay, perfect. I'm seeing everybody's. Oh, good. Okay, so what I want you to imagine is if you had to figure out how many customers it would take to hit your number that you just put in the chat. And let's just say that the average order is $50 per customer. Get your calculator, grab your phone. If you're bad in math, do all the things. You may be able to do it in your head. But at $50 a customer, approximately how many customers are you looking at needing to sell to in the month of March to be able to hit your goal? Okay. All right. Go ahead and put that in the chat. While you're doing the math, I got to tell you, we're going to do a fun giveaway tonight. So stay on. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be really, really fun. So as you're doing the math and as you're putting your numbers in the chat, that number should scare you. If that number doesn't scare you, then we need to talk. Okay? The number that you just put in the chat should make you tremble inside. You should be thinking, oh my heck, I don't even know how I can make this happen. If you feel like your number is doable, you're playing it safe. And honestly, you are going to wow yourself this month. Don't play it safe. I'm going to give you the tools, tips, and ideas that you need to make sure that you hit your 40, however many customers, your 20. I'm reading the chat, 20, 30, 40, however many customers you need, okay? And I have over 12 years. I can finally say over 12 years. Last month, I hit my 12-year Scentsy. I've been with Scentsy for 12 years. And so I finally get to say over 12 years. I have over 12 years experience at this, guys. Over. And there's only been 2, maybe 3 months in my entire 12-year journey that I've hit less than $2,000 PRV. All right? Only a couple of months out of my entire 12 years that I've fallen below hitting 2,000 PRV. And I'm nothing magical. Like, I don't wake up and drink anything different each morning than what you do. Like, there wasn't anything magical in my Scentsy kit. Actually, it was far less grand than what it is now. You know what I mean? Like, so we can do this. And that is the biggest thing that I want you to realize right now is whatever number you put in that chat, you can do it. So I want to tell you a little something that changed my world. I went to Baton Rouge for what did we call it back then? Spring Sprint, I think. And there was a lady that got on stage and she talked about the gum analogy. And some of you guys have maybe heard this and some of you haven't, but I'm going to say it again for those of you that need a refresher or that also maybe have never heard this. But if I were to get into an elevator with you and didn't know you from Adam, or maybe I did know you. And maybe there were two other people in the elevator with us, and I was digging in my purse for a piece of gum, and I got it out. And the polite thing, I don't know who made this up, but it's polite. If you open candy in front of someone and you have extra to share, you offer it, right? Or you make that lame thing like, sorry, this is my last piece. I don't know if you've ever had to say that, but I've had to say that a lot. Anyway, oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't realize how like exhausting it was to smile. I am literally at like a -10 in my energy. Ah, okay. So I get my gum out, and to the 3 or 4 other people in the elevator, I ask them, "Hey, would you like a piece of gum? Would you like a piece of gum?" What do you think you're going to hear? Put it in the chat. What do you think you're going to hear? Be honest. I know you guys have offered gum before, right? Or candy or whatever. No thanks. I'm good. Sure. Yep. Sure. Sometimes a reluctant sure because they're not really sure if they're putting you out. Some say no, some say okay. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. So I'm good. Thanks anyway. Okay, yeah, you guys got it. You've done this before, right? Okay. So, as we set out on this journey to double, triple, quadruple, or beyond, I don't even know how to say the words that go beyond that. As we set out on this journey to quadruple or beyond our customer base, you are going to hear some no's. You're going to hear some no thanks. You're going to hear some I'm good, thanks anyway. You're going to hear some no thank yous. You're going to hear some, I mean, just read the chat. You're going to hear some sure. You're going to hear some, oh, I was going to say whoop whoops, but Holly didn't mean that for what we were talking about. Okay, so you're going to hear everything. You might even hear, oh, not right now. Or you may hear, I already have a piece. Or I have some in my purse, thank you. Okay, you're going to hear a little bit of everything. And just like you are, we're using this analogy for gum, guys, in our Scentsy business. When I ask someone if they want to, if they've ever heard of Scentsy, or do they have a Scentsy consultant, or do they use Scentsy at their house, I hear a little bit of everything. I really do. And I don't let that shut me down. I don't get all in my feels and come running back home crying, saying, oh my gosh, they said they didn't want to buy Scentsy from me. This isn't my life. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I mean, you wouldn't say that if somebody told you no for gum, right? You wouldn't slam your purse closed and get an attitude and say, well, I guess this isn't the life for me. Nobody wants to get my gum. What's wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Do I look weird? Do I act weird? Is direct sales not for me? Would you have I mean, would you have a duck fit if you were told no, if you offered a piece of gum? No, because you realize that that's their prerogative, their choice. You go on about your day. Okay. Same thing in our Scentsy businesses, guys. You've got to start getting in the feels. And you have to know that the people that are supposed to be your customers, they're going to be your customers. Like it's set in stone, it's already established. You just have to find them. And what happens is many of us, we stop offering and we stop working consistently because we get all in the feels. Somebody says that they don't want to host a party and it knocks us down. We get a little bit, we get in our feels. We just kind of get a little bit discouraged and we're like, man, what am I doing wrong? Why does everybody else get such big PRV? Why does everybody else have tons of parties? What's wrong with me? Is Cincy not supposed to be what I'm doing? Or what am I saying wrong? Or am I weird? Right? Okay. So I want you to know that consistency is the key. I told my consultant no for 4 months. Stupid me, but I did. Way back in 2009, like an idiot, I told my consultant no for 4 months. I didn't buy all the time. Many times she followed up with me and told me she was placing a big order and asked me if I wanted to add anything, and I told her no over and over and over. It wasn't no because I didn't like it, guys. It was no because I couldn't afford it. Luckily, she caught on. And that's when she started asking me, would I like to join? Would I like to do Scentsy with her? Would I like to know what was in the starter kit? Yeah, she asked me that. Okay. So I want you to know that maybe it's going to be the fourth time you ask someone if they want to buy Scentsy from you. Maybe it's going to be the fourth time that they say yes. Maybe they're going to say no 3 times. Look at your customer base. Have you followed up with them for 4 no's? Because if my consultant would have given up on me the first 3 months, I wouldn't be a superstar director under her right now. You get what I'm saying? How many people do you know in your world that you've just not been consistent with? Because maybe you thought, "Oh man, I'm being aggressive if I keep on asking and they keep on saying no, it's going to be seen as aggressive." Do you think like that? I think like that. Okay. So, I want you to answer in the chat right now. How many times do you follow, or let's say it like this. When you get a no, how much time goes by before you follow up with that person again? When you text somebody and say, "Hey, I've got an online party going on. Do you need anything?" Or if you say, "Hey, I've got a new catalog that just launched. Would you like me to send you one? Do you need anything?" And if they say no, how much time do you let go by before you reach back out to them? There's not really any wrong answers here. It's just preference. Thank you, Jordan, for being honest. I love the transparency. This is where we get better. We don't have to put on, we don't have to pretend. This is where we brainstorm and work together. Okay, good, Jeannie. Thank you. Yeah, Lauren, I hear you. All right, so I'm going to read some of the comments because I just think that they're powerful. And I think that it's super important for us to realize that um, sometimes to grow, we have to be vulnerable. And sometimes to grow, we have to realize how we can improve. And so I'm going to read some, a lot of you guys said about 2 weeks, some said a month, 2 to 4 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. A lot of you put 2 weeks, some said a few days. A couple of you said, "I don't follow up, a month, 2 weeks." Some of you said it depends on the answer. A couple of you said that you're guilty of not asking. Um, 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes not at all, depends on what they say. The next time I have something going on, like LTOs, sometimes I find myself going to the repeat customers, like the same small core. Okay, so you see that there are so many different styles. And guys, I am delighted to tell you that Scentsy isn't a one size fits all. There isn't this tried and true, like it's this way or no way type ladder to success with Scentsy. We can be different. We can vary in our techniques and our, the way we follow up. But honestly, it's the following up that matters. It's the fact that you don't let that no be no forever. However you work it, you heard some cool ideas there about how people use the LTOs. My rule of thumb is about two to 4 weeks. It really depends on what's going on in my life and my business. I do have a lot of customers, and so I don't spend a lot of time with the ones that aren't repeat customers because I have a lot of things in place to make them want to reorder. And we're going to talk about some of those things as well. So consistency is the key. I want you to remember that you may get a no 4 times before you get a yes. You may get a no 10 times before you get a yes. From the same person? Yep, because that was me. And some of you guys that are looking at me right now, you were once my customer that told me no before too. I once tried to recruit you and you told me no, not right now, or no, thank you. And thank God that I didn't let that stop me from asking you again or stop me from building a relationship with you. So, one thing that I want you to try to work on, and this is just something that I've used for 12 years and it works like a charm. It's I call it being a good human. When someone tells you no, let me reword that. When someone tells me no, I work harder on getting to know them. So when someone tells me no, I realize I might need to establish that relationship better. And maybe it's the pleaser in me that I hate that part of my DNA, but I am like 99.9% pleaser. And it's a hard life, you guys, but I'll tell you, in indirect sales and in Scentsy and in what we do, it's really been, gosh, I can't think of good words tonight, but it's been what do you call that? Like whenever it's a plus or a pro, not a con. Okay. So let's just pretend like you are one of my customers on my VIP page. I voice message you in Messenger and I say to you, let me just see who's looking at me sweetly. Tina, I'm going to use you for an example. I say, Tina, I hope you're doing good. I wanted to let you know that I'm about to place this huge order. Do you need any bars, cotton cleanups? Oh, what are you out of? It's been a while since I've reached out to you, and I just wanted to follow up with you and see what I can get for you. That's the voice message I'm using as I leave through Messenger She comes back and says, I'm good right now. Thanks anyway. Or maybe it takes her a few days. Maybe she doesn't even respond. Okay. So I just gave you three different scenarios. She doesn't respond at all. Tina, would you do that to me? Would you not respond to me? She doesn't respond at all. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two is it takes her a few days or a week, or she responds right away and says no. All three are rejections, right? So what do I do after that? I run to her Facebook page. I see what's going on in her world. I comment on a couple of things. I like some of her posts, and I write her name down on a sheet of paper that I keep just for the people that I'm not made a good connection with. I have a sheet of paper in my study that is the people that I am serving, but I know in my heart I haven't made a good connection. I don't really know what's going on in their world. I'm their Scentsy girl, but I don't really know, honestly, I don't really know a lot about them. So I use that no as motivation to get to know them better. I use that no as a way to maybe do what I should have done in the beginning. Am I being honest there? Get to know your customers. I know you can't be BFFs with everyone, but guys, I feel like that it goes a really long way with my customers when even after they've told me no, I'm still going and commenting on their cute baby picture. I'm still going and commenting on their recipe that they made from scratch that night. I'm still going and commenting on whatever their son made I almost said touchdown. And then I realized it's baseball season, so I don't even know. Yeah, had a good game, right? So I want to ask you, when's the last time and you don't have to put this in the chat, but when's the last time that you sought after a relationship instead of just trying to get the order? Because a lot of times, if you're just going after the order, it's going to make your words, it's going to make your style and technique a little aggressive. We do never, ever want to be that person. And the other day, I got, hold on, should I even pull it up? I actually got two messages. One was from one of you guys, and I do not mean to talk about that. Um, let's see if I can pull it up. Oh man, I really want to pull it up. I might be throwing someone under the bus, but they don't sell for our company. And crap, it would be really cool if I could pull this up. It was just this random message from someone I don't even know. No hello, no how are you doing, no trying to get to know me, no nothing. And she just sends me a link to her pop up shop that she is doing for some business that I won't say the name of because that would be unnecessary. Crap, I can't find the message. I might have deleted it. Normally, when that happens, I go straight to my messenger and I don't mark it as spam. What do I do? I mute it. I mute it. I don't unfollow them or unfriend them. That's a little much, right? But I just mute it because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what this is. They just shot me a link. Like, how rude. How rude. You know what I mean? But even if they would have asked me to buy from them in a nice way and I told them no, if they went and got on my two previous posts have been me having the stomach virus and my dog having the stomach virus and me giving my dog the stomach virus. Anyway, but how special would it have been if I would have told that person if she would have had a legitimate conversation with me, treated me like a human. Let's start there. And then I'd have said, no, I actually told somebody the other day that I was on a spend freeze. And she was like, oh, no problem. And, she still had a conversation with me after that. And she's like, yeah, I probably should do one of those too. And anyway, it was really a sweet thing. But how fun would it have been if I would have told this person no and she would have gone back to my sick post and commented like she cared about me? You know what I mean? Like I was a true human being. This takes time, it takes consistency. And make sure you have the right heart and motive as you're reaching out, trying to make people, try to make relationships with people. Okay. But I promise you, Crystalline, I don't know that I got a message from you, but I am not talking about you at all. I promise. It's a pop up shop, and I don't even know this person. Like, I have to find it now so you know for sure I'm not talking about you. I don't even really remember getting a message from you this morning. Oh my gosh, no, you made my morning this morning. Crystalline, that is my most favorite raccoon video ever. Please keep sending those to me. I love it. No, this was just a random link with somebody's direct selling pop up shop. Not the same thing. Anyway, okay. So moving on to our next thought. So we've already talked about being consistent, understanding that no doesn't mean no forever. Now I got to tell you something. A lot of us try to offer gum to someone with nothing in our hand or in our purse. How stupid would it be for you to not have anything in your hand, jump in an elevator, no pockets, no purse, no gum, and offer somebody a piece of gum? Ridiculous? Huh, yeah. Stupid? Yeah. How many times do some of us try to market our business, try to get us to, try to market our business, try to get people to buy from us, even join our teams, but we have nothing in hand to give them? No business cards. I'm not a business card person, I'm not going to lie. How many of you guys use business cards? I think I'm way too millennial for that. I honestly do not have one business card in my entire house, not from me and not from anybody else. If somebody gives me a business card, I take a picture of it and I throw that crap in the garbage can. I cannot stand business cards. I think it's something like fundamentally wrong in my brain. I can't stand clutter. I can't stand unnecessary things. And I have tried to use business cards in my lifetime, but I really freaking hated it. So I'm not gonna lie. I do not use business cards in my business. And if somebody, because now we own a gym, and sometimes people will come by the gym and they'll leave a business card, and I'm like, who left this trash? Throw it away. It's so terrible. It's so terrible. I cannot stand business cards. But I do have something to put in their hands. My favorite business card is not a card at all. It's a sample. It's a felt sample, or it's a flyer, or it's a drawing slip. You guys have watched my drawing slip YouTube video? If not, write that down on your to do list this weekend. Go to my YouTube channel and watch my drawing slip video. It will change your business. I've been using it for years. Drawing slips are hands down 10,000 times more profitable for me to pass out than business cards. I cannot tell you that I've ever gotten a any business, any orders from a business card. I don't ever remember anybody reaching out to me going, Laura, I got your business card and want to place an order. Uh-uh. I really don't think that that's been in my life. It might. Maybe I needed to be more consistent in order to make that happen. I don't know. I'm probably telling on myself there. I should be more consistent before I discredit business cards. But honestly, ugh, I hate them. So I use drawing slips. I love the drawing slips because it allows people to easily refer other people to me. So when I hand a drawing slip to someone, I will usually say something like, hey, I do a monthly drawing. You don't even have to purchase anything, and you can actually share this opportunity with anybody else in your life that loves free Scentsy. And they're like, wow, really? I'm like, yeah, all you have to do is text the number take a picture of it and text the number on the back. My phone blows up all the time with people that are returning my drawing slip. And on that drawing slip, it asks them for their email. And sometimes people don't fill it out thoroughly. And so I'll just send them back a message. I'll be like, this is awesome. Thank you so much. You're in the drawing. Can I just get your email address so I can finish up your how do I keep up with it all? Well, I don't use business cards, that's for starters, but it's so fun. And honestly, I really feel like that it is nice because it's no paper trail. Like they don't have to keep a hold of a business card. And guess what? My number's in their phone and their number's in mine. And so they're actually saving me a step. Let that sink in. Now, some people say to me whenever I do this kind of training about drawing slips, are like, why do you tell them no purchase necessary? And the reason I do that is because I feel like that if I did make a purchase necessary, I do not feel like that they would ever text me back. I don't know about you, but I know I never would. And then also too, my goal is to create a relationship with them so that they'll ultimately host a party. And if I'm off the bat telling them that in order to get into my monthly drawing, they have to place an order, then I'm cutting myself short from being able to ask them about getting their Scentsy for free and half price. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to think about, what do you have in your hands every single day? Do you pack your car the night before with Scentsy flyers, business cards, samples? drawing slips. What are you willing to put in their hands? And I know we live in a COVID weird world right now where people are less likely to take something from someone else. But guys, you got to start somewhere. And if it's a free sample and it smells divine, they're more than likely they're going to take it. Okay. All right. So, referral specials. So, we're talking about building our customer base. And I have to tell you something right now. We're going to take a small commercial break just for a second. Okay. Sometimes I mentor people that tell me that their customers just don't want to buy. They're at $58 PRV on the third week of the month, and they're like, Laura, my customers just don't want to buy. Nobody's buying this. Nobody's buying from the new catalog. Nobody's buying the LTOs, limited time offers, is what LTO stands for. I didn't know what that meant for a long time, so I have to tell you. Anyway, nobody's buying. I hear that. I hear that. Oh my gosh. Because normally I mentor people when they're at their rock bottom, right? They're reaching out because they don't know what else to do, right? And I hear this. Nobody wants to buy. Everybody says they're good, blah, 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 blah. And I've realized in 12 years that it's usually because of one thing. They're sowing seeds, they're working their business, they are, but their garden's like that big, like, or maybe that big. They're working their butt off with those little customers in their little garden. But I want you to build a garden huge, like an acre. I mean, I want your garden to be huge. I don't want you to rely on 3 customers to get your PRV this month. I don't want you to rely on 50. No, I want you to have hundreds of customers to draw on. 100, 200. I have almost 300 people in my VIP page right now. And do you know what the prerequisite is to be able to stay in my VIP page? They have to order once every new catalog or they get kicked out. I don't play. I don't have time to waste trying to make people feel special if they can't order once every 6 months. Like, they can order one light bulb. I don't care. I don't put a stipulation on what the value is, but if they haven't placed an order in 6 months, they know they're getting kicked out. I say once every new catalog, and they know that's twice a year. Okay, so how do we get your garden built? How do we get your garden so big that it's easy for you to get to 5 and 6 and 7,000 PRV every month? That's my average. I used to shoot for 2,000. In my early days, I used to. But the longer you're in Scentsy, the bigger your customer base gets. And yeah, I recruit a lot of my customers and I have to rebuild them too, right? I have to rebuild, have to plant more seeds, can't let my garden get too small, right? Okay, so here's how you get your garden big. You start out with a garden this big, okay? That's the people that are in your natural circle. Ah, my ears are ringing. That's the people that are in your natural, I don't know, your coworker, your sister, the people that you started off with. Okay. You know who I'm talking about? The people that bought from your launch party? Yeah. So the problem with some of you is that you're still trying to work that small, tiny garden. I want you to know that the way you get your garden to go from this to this to this to an acre to hundreds is you have to make it worth their while to spread your name around work, your name around the baseball field, your name around town, your name around their church, their gym. I could go on and on. You have to make it worth their while. Hey, Jen, remind me of that question. I'd be super happy to go into it. Remind me towards the end of the call when I open it up for questions. I really want to answer that question. Oh, I need a Sprite. Hold on. Okay. I sound terrible. I'm not even gonna lie. You guys are such troopers for hanging in here with me. Okay, how do you get your customers to spread your business for you? Well, I'm gonna give you some ideas. And I want you to get that can do attitude as I go through this. And I want you to get rid of any kind of negative thoughts that creep into your mind whenever I go through this with you. Because there are going to be things that I suggest that you're going to tell yourself you can't do. There are going to be things that I suggest that you're going to tell yourself, oh, well, I'm not a superstar director. Don't you dare say that. There are going to be things that I say that you are going to balk at. Okay? Don't do it. Write them down anyway. And guys, I wouldn't tell you that they worked if they really didn't, if I didn't have experience. And not just my experience, but these are the ideas that I give people whenever they reach out for coaching calls with me. Okay, so one of my favorite things to do is to manipulate my day so that I have to deliver a girl's order to her office, to her work. It doesn't always work out. It doesn't always pan out the way I want it to. But let me tell you, every chance I get, I love showing up at a girl's office. I put a lot of love into how I wrap her present. And I said present on purpose because when I hand it to her, it looks and it feels like a present. Okay. And everybody in that entire office will watch me walking through wishing to God that it was for them. Case in point, the other day, I was at the gym, my gym, and a flower truck drove up. And this guy gets out of his flower van, goes to the back of the van, and I'm sitting in there with probably 5 or 6 girls. Okay. He gets out, he gets this big old thing of flowers out of his van. He shuts the door, and there's several different businesses right beside my gym. And I cannot even tell you that I don't even really flowers is not my love language. Like Marcus doesn't buy me flowers. I don't need flowers. But there was a teeny little bitty part of my heart and brain that thought, could these be for me? And I don't even need flowers like that. Flowers aren't my love language at all. But I can't help but think that every woman in that entire business, what do you call rows of businesses like that? They're called like storefronts. I bet every girl that was peeking through the window was thinking, a small part of her heart was thinking, is that for me? Think about dropping off your packages to where the people are. I will go to a ball field. I will walk to the bleachers where that mama is sitting watching her son practice. I will hand deliver her package so that every mama on that entire freaking baseball field wishes to God they had ordered Scentsy. And they're going up to the girl like, dang, what is this? What'd you get? And she's like, oh, Laura's my Scentsy girl. And she brings it to your baseball field. Yeah, she's the best. And look, she wraps it up so nicely. They're opening it, they're looking through it, they're taking pictures of it. Oh my gosh, you guys, go above and beyond. And it's every chance you get, deliver things in person where there's a crowd. Could I have taken that Scentsy order to the girl's house and done a porch drop off? Yeah. Do I do that? Yeah, sometimes I do because my life is crazy. But every chance that I can, I'm going to deliver in person. Now, another idea that I have. So anytime, not anytime. Let me just say, try to use some. I can't think of the right word, like couth, or just have some brains in your head. Don't do don't do what I'm about to tell you every single time because that's not special at all and that's weird. Okay, common sense. Thank you, Tina. I need you to think for me because I'm really struggling tonight. Okay. No, I struggle every night. You guys know me. Anyway, so try to use some common sense with what I'm about to tell you. If you overdo it, then shame on you. But, okay, so here's what I love to do. So just tonight, Julie Lawrence, one of my most beloved newest customers, she sends me a text and she wants that new, she calls it the sand warmer, which is called around the beach, I think. She called it the sand warmer. She's like, the sand warmer that goes from blue to yellow or something like that. I'm like, I know what you mean. She's like, order me one of those, and I need the cotton cleanup packs. And I was like, I got you, I got you. Anyway, so I took her order. She also got 2 of the mystery bags that I'm offering this month as well. I'll talk to you guys about those in just a minute. Anyway, I got her order, and I told her, I said, hey, before I check you out, I can save you 10% on this order if you know of anybody that needs more bars because mama's got to get rid of some bars so I can restock with the new stuff. Do you know anybody that needs bars at your work? Because she works at a hospital. And I was like, do you know anybody that needs more bars? And she's like, oh my gosh, actually I do. Don't worry about the 10%, Laura. You're too generous. Like she literally put that in my text. But she's like, my daughter is obsessed with Scentsy. Like those were her exact words, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes before we started this training call. So I'm going to get to sell a lot more and I am going to give her the 10%. And I know that not everybody can offer 10%. I know that not everybody can offer discounts or whatever, but figure it out. What could you say in that blank instead of, before I check you out, would you love to get a free scent circle? Before I check you out, do you know anybody that needs more cotton cleanups? Because I have two more packs here. You get what I'm saying? Like, what can you do to make them feel like the hero at their work or at their place of business or with their family? You just might actually learn that they know of people that need Scentsy too, and now they have a reason to go back to their coworkers and say, "Hey, my Scentsy girl's willing to give 10% off if you got," you know what I'm saying? Like, just have fun with it. Okay. Oh my gosh, I had a fleeting moment. I had an idea and my brain hid it from me. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't remember what my brain hid from me. It'll come back. Probably not, but it might. Oh, I know. Yay, thank you, brain. I I love, love, love to save people tax. I have to pay tax, but I can count it off at the end of the tax year. So I just have this sheet of paper that's in my calendar, and anytime I pay someone's tax, I just write the amount down and the person's name. Um, and then at the end of the year, my CPA is like, what is this figure? And I'm like, well, this is the amount of tax that I paid for people so that they would, spread my business for me or meet me at my church to pick up the order instead of me delivering it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I can't tell you how many times that I have told people, hey, if you pick it up at my house, I can save you shipping. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. If you pick it up at my house, I can save you tax. Okay. And they come to my house, and guess what they see? I bring them into my front door, and they see more Scentsy. They see their beautiful package, but they see a lot more stuff. And I mean, isn't that the way of the world? Like, we go to Target for two things and we come out with a cart full. Why? Because there was more presented to us. There was way more there. And you could do the same thing with your trunk. If you have something, like if for whatever reason, like you're not, people aren't coming to your house, but maybe you open your trunk and you get out their Scentsy package, but you have a tote full of 20 more bars. They're going to notice and they're going to say, "Ooh, what in the world?" You know what I mean? Like, that's what happens at Target. That's what happens when you go to the grocery store. You go in for mayonnaise and you come out with all kinds of crap because it was there. Stop limiting yourself. Stop limiting yourself. Be smarter. Think ahead. Okay. Mystery bags. I just mentioned those briefly. So this month every year for the last 3 years, I'm bringing up a flyer because a picture's worth 1,000 words. I do this. Can you see it? It's a grown-up Easter basket. I never got an Easter basket growing up. Do you guys feel sorry for me? You don't act like you feel sorry for me. I never got an Easter basket growing up, ever. And a couple of years ago, 3 years ago exactly, I decided that what if there were other people like me? What if there were other people that never had the warm fuzzies of an Easter basket growing up? Or maybe there were more people that weren't like me. They had Easter baskets every single year, but part of adulting is no more Easter baskets. Now you have to buy Easter baskets for other people. And I thought to myself, you know what? I I'm going to market to both people. I'm going to market to the people that are like me that never got an Easter basket growing up, and I'm also going to market to the people that got one and they miss that warm fuzzy feel. So I came up with this. I made this flyer. This is my original marketing stuff, and this is what I say every March when I send this out. Each March, I say, I texted this to all of my customers. I said, "Hi, Ren, question for you. When is the last time you personally got an Easter basket full of goodies that you wanted? Has it been 5 years, 20 years, more, or never?" Yep, I mean a grown up Easter basket. I'm building your grown up Easter basket full of Scentsy full sized and fun sized products to make Easter smell delicious. It's going to be a big treat. It's perfect for the adult children in your life or even a friend or a loved one who needs Happy Mail this month. Extra special treats for those who order 2 Easter sacks this month. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to walk through this with you because whether or not you do a monthly subscription box like I do, or whether you just do random mystery bags, you can use some of the marketing ideas that I've put into this. Okay, so hi, Ren, question for you. Her name is Ren. Okay, question for you. When is the last time you personally got an Easter basket? I'm asking them to think. I'm showing that I want to know. Many times we just launch into trying to market our stuff. Hey, Ren, did you see the new catalog's out? It's so awesome. And you're going to want everything. And it's like, like, oh my gosh, it's such a spiel, right? But maybe you could change up your marketing to be a little bit more of a good human. Okay. Um, did you catch that part where I said, I'm building your dream basket? Dude, she hasn't paid yet. She hasn't even decided whether or not she wants in. And I'm already telling her that I'm building it. Why? Because I am. I want her to know that I've planned ahead to make this very special for her. And so I'm building it. And she knows she doesn't have to get it. But I want her to know that a lot of thought, planning, love has gone into these. And if you've ever been one of my customers or seen anything that I do, you know that I give. Oh my gosh, it's my love language. Sorry, my ears are like ringing and popping, and it's the weirdest thing ever. You guys tired of hearing me whine yet? Okay. Did you see that part, or did you hear me say that part towards the end where I said, okay, I said it's going to be such a big treat, and it's also perfect for any adult children in your life, or even a friend or loved one who needs Happy Meal this month. I always let my customers know that what is good for them is also good for a loved one in their life. A care package. You have to sometimes make them think. You have to sometimes help them along to realize, oh, yeah, my daughter would love this. Guys, I've already sold, hold on. I was at 30. I launched this like 5 minutes, 6 minutes before we started the call, and I'm already at 30. I charged $30 for them. I'm bad in math. Yay, that's $900 in PRV, and it just launched. And I don't know how, I mean, that's just how many were popping right then. I sent that same text out using Hit 'em Up. I'm going to put that in the um, meeting chat. Hit 'em Up. I use that texting service so I can just like bam, 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 bam. And I sent those texts out to a lot of people, and already had 30 people that paid. And I feel like that um the last part of my text message is what seals the deal for a lot of people. I say extra special treat for those who order 2 cent sacks this month. How many of you guys think it's going to be a cent circle? How many of you guys think it's going to be a bar? How many think it's going to be an extra sample, maybe a counter clean sample? What do you think it's going to be? You don't know? They don't know either. And yet, over and over and over, my text was blowing up as we were getting started tonight with people saying, I'm in for 2. Put me down for 2. My daughter would love this. Put me down for 2. Over and over and over and over again. Okay. So I think part of why your garden is too small and why your PRV is too small is because you are trying to sow seeds and trying to resurrect the dead and trying to get people to order from you, order from you, order from you, but you're just trying to market to too few people. And you need to try to figure out ways to, like what I just did is technically a referral special. They're getting incentivized to buy more than 1 cent sack to give to someone else. And guys, do you know how many recruits I get because of my cent sacks, because of my mystery bags? Do you know how many new customers I get every single month because somebody is using my stuff as care packages, get well packages, thank you so much packages, like all day long? I am not anything special. But what I do is I sit back and I try to think of what I would need someone to do for me to be able to spread their business for them. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me make sure I hit on all of my notes. Oh, I did have one more thing that I do. So I love doing this too. I do it to daycares, dentist offices, churches. I do it for, oh my gosh, pretty much anything. Like, you want to know a funny? I even do this for jails, and I have a couple of ladies that work in a jail. And when I lived in Atmore before, I did this to the prison, to the two prisons there. And one of them was a maximum security prison. You guys are like, "What the heck are you doing? Tell us the end of this. What in the world?" Anyway, I don't always text people and ask for an order. I usually, I mean, I do that every now and then, but I really don't. That to me, that's really overly used. Um, and I place so many orders that and do so many fundraisers that I get a lot of free and half price things. And so I usually will put a whole lot of stuff in a basket, and I will sometimes I'll send a picture of the basket, but a lot of times I'll just message somebody at the prison, one of my customers, and I'll say something like, Tiffany, she's my contact at one of the jails, and I'll say, "Hey Tiffany, it's Laura. I got a big old order in last night, and I'm dumping a bunch of it in a basket. You want me to bring the basket and you guys can smell through them, or would you you want me to bring by the basket so that you guys can have a little Scentsy party?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh, if I've heard it once, I've heard it four times. When are you going to bring the basket by?" I do this for dentist offices, daycares. I do it at my gym. Oh my gosh, I do it for schools. I do it. I mean, my list on where I do this is huge. The risk are that you do run the risk of not having an honest contact person. So I'm not even gonna lie. I do want you to know that you do run the risk of them not being honest, not Venmo. I have them Venmo me. You might get Venmo for 8 bars and they really took 10. I mean, it's the ugly world we live in. But I'm going to tell you that it's always been a really good. Um, oh, I've never been burnt yet. Never. I always make sure that I know my contact